Hi, this is Steve. Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. In this video, I continue to build the Agora models Jaguar E-Type, or that's the XKE. I am on pack number 9. Now in pack number 9, we continue to work on the interior a little bit. We work on the dash, and we also work on the hood and we install the fenders. It's a real beauty, and that car is just, wait till you see it in the video here. It's fantastic. The quality here is second to none. And if you haven't done so already, head over to agoramodels.com and subscribe to this car today. Let them know I sent you. I'm having a blast building this, and it's a lot of fun. Pack 10 is on the way, so stay tuned for that a little bit later. So with that, let's get started. And welcome back to Pack 9 Build-Up. This is everything I've completed all the way up to Pack 8. And you can see here we have a lot accomplished. Pack 8, we actually started the interior of the car, and I think it looks fantastic. It really looks the part as being brown leather and such. And we actually wired in an on and off switch and also the brake switch for our sound effects and our lights, our tail lights. We also started with the dash, and we're going to continue with that here in Pack 9, along with more interior on Pack 9. We also completed the rear suspension. We installed a wire wheel, and we also have the whole front end of the car completed. The engine and everything, I mean, it's fantastic. The detailing on that engine is definitely museum quality. And then we have our spare wheel also. So let's get started on Pack 9. Welcome back to the Jaguar E-Type. This is Pack 9. We'll be working on stages 65 through 73, and that's 9 parts packs contained within this box, and they are all very well protected inside of this box. The box may take a beating, but the parts always turn out really good and nice inside here. So give me a chance to take all these out. We will preview all the parts, and then we'll get started on stage 65. Here's stage 65 parts. This includes the glove box compartment and grab handle. Stage 66 includes the rear floor. Stage 67, spare wheel and rear floor covers. Stage 68, fuel tank top and base. Stage 69, left rear wheel arch. Stage 70, right rear wheel arch. Stage 71, the headlights. And these look fantastic here. Stage 72, the right front wing and lights, or we would call the right front fenders. And the last stage for Pack 9, stage 73, which is the left front wing and lights, or the left front fender. Let's get started on stage 65. Before I get rolling here with the build, something new we're going to be using in this stage is PVA glue. Now, PVA glue is essentially Elmer's glue or a water-based glue. It will not harm clear plastic, so it's very important that you use this type of glue in this pack. So we're going to be using that for the headlights, obviously. I use the Formula 560 canopy glue, and that's dries up crystal clear. and a very strong hold there. The other option is if you go to your craft store, you can find what we call glossy accents. Same thing. It's a little bit thicker, dries crystal clear also, and I use this a lot for my canopies and my clear parts. And here's stage 65 parts, which is the glove compartment and grab handle. Give me a chance to take this out and I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of those parts. Here's the dashboard top. Love the texturing on that. It is made of plastic. Glove box compartment itself. The grab handle, very tiny part there. Be careful you don't lose it. And the AG06 screws. Received, it looks like 5 of those. First thing we do for stage 65 is install the glove box. Now the glove box is going to be inserted on the back side here. So we'll turn this over, and it only goes in one way, obviously. And it's going to go in just like that. If you're having a hard time putting your screws into these plastic parts, you can always use some dishwashing soap. Apply it to the holes there, and it will just lubricate that enough, and harmless to plastic dishwashing soap, and it will dry out eventually. AG06 screws go into this. That's what that looks like there. Next, to go ahead and install the dashboard top, and that's going to go down right on top of the dashboard. Just like that. If you look over on the back side here, 2 of our screw holes line up, so when it goes down on top, 2 AG06 screws go into this. And that looks great there. Looks good. And we put our grab handle in over here on the end. It is keyed, has a flat edge. Perfect. And that's all we do for stage 65. Let's jump on over to stage 66. Here's the parts pack for stage 66. Give me a second and I'll take this out. And here's a close-up of the part, the rear floor area. And once again, it does have that carpet texture look here, made of plastic. And we received AG06 screws, 4 of them. So we're going to install this on the back of our floor, and I'll bring that over. This is it right here. I'm sure you remember that. So we need to have the floor upside down to install this, and this only goes in one way. So it's going to insert right there on the back side. Okay, we're going to be installing 3 AG06 screws. Last one. That looks great there. Let's turn it over. That's how that looks there. Fantastic. Now we always receive an extra screw with each screw pack, and I save them. And believe me, I've had to use them when screws were lost or they weren't included with your pack when it was shipped. So I save them in this little box here. It's a pill box, and you can definitely find this on my Amazon store. There's a link below. Don't forget to head over to agoramodels.com and subscribe to this car. It's fantastic. And that completes stage 66. Let's head over to stage 67. Here's the parts pack for stage 67. Give me a chance, I'll take these out. Here's a close-up of those parts. we received the rear floor cover, and that's this right here. Once again, has that carpet look to it. And the spare wheel cover. And the pull handle for the spare wheel cover. First thing we do is we put that latch mechanism on here. Now it just press fits and only goes in one way, has a square edge there. I'm going to go ahead and just put a little dab of super glue in there, and that won't hurt anything. And we'll put this in. Only goes in one way, like I said, and press it in. You can hear it snap in place. Next, I'll bring over my floor panel from the back that we previously installed, and that's this right here. And this simply just inserts like that on the back side. After we put the tire cover on, then we have the main cover that goes down on top of that. And that's how that looks. Agora does recommend that you take this off and this off and store them, put them away until we're going to use them a little bit later. But anyway, this looks fantastic. And that completes stage 67. Let's look at 68 next. Here's the parts pack for stage 68, and this time we received the components for the fuel tank. I'll be right back. And here's a close-up of those parts. We did receive the fuel tank base itself. That's this right here, made of plastic. And the fuel tank top, which a lot of stuff attaches to that. Once again, plastic. The fuel pump itself, which is plastic. Fuel tank sender unit. The filler pipe, AGO4 and AGO6. Alright, first thing we're going to do, we're going to install two components here, and the sending unit is first. And if you look here, we're going to put that in, and that just press fits in place. So the sending unit is actually what gives you your readings on your gauge, on your fuel gauge. And then we'll put in the fuel pump next. And then we're going to secure the fuel pump down with an AGO6 screw. And that's how that looks there. Next, we're going to put in our fuel filler. And that's what that looks like there. That's our fuel filler. And it only goes in one way. It's keyed. It's got a keyway there. And that's going to go in on top. AGO4 screw will hold that down. And that completes stage 68. Let's go to stage 69. Here's the parts pack for stage 69, and this is the left rear wheel arch. So let me take these out and I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of the parts. The arch here is made of plastic, but it has all the interior texturing going on that we saw everywhere else. And we also have the fuel filler cap and AGO4 screws. First thing we do is we install the fuel cap. And it is keyed. It only goes in one way. Just like that. AGO4 screw goes into that. That's how that looks there. Now we're going to install this on our interior. Bring over our interior, the back end here. We need to turn this over. And it's going to go in here on the back side. And the last one. Be sure you don't over tighten this. Good. And that's all we do for stage 69. Let's go to stage 70. And here's the parts pack for stage 70. This time we received the right rear wheel arch. We just completed the left rear previously. Let me take this out, we'll get a closer look. And here's a close-up. This time we don't really install anything on this. We're just going to install this on the left rear interior area. Made of plastic, 3 AGO4 screws. Just like before, we're going to install this on the right side now, and it's going to slip underneath. We're going to put 2 AGO4 screws into this, and it just slides in just like that. That in place and put the screws in. And that's perfect. That's what that looks like there. And that's all we do for stage 70. Let's do stage 71. Here's the parts pack for stage 71. And these are our headlights. Very cool. We take these out, we'll get a closer look. And here's a close-up of those parts. We received the left hand and right hand headlight scoops, and they are marked. So this is my left side, this is my right side. Every one of these parts is marked with an L, and every one of these is marked with an R for right. Wire loom for our power, for our LED. It's 05 for the left and 06 for the right. And the clear lenses look very nice there. These would be the headlight reflectors on top and the headlight mounts below there. AGO2 screws. I'm going to go ahead and use my glossy accents for this. It works the same as PVA glue, but it's dimensional, a little thicker, but it does dry crystal clear. What they want us to do is note that it is marked with an L for left. You can see that. And also the lens itself has a detent on the end there. Might be kind of hard for you to see. And that's going to insert, I'll just dry fit it. There's a detent in the lens, so we want to make sure that goes in right where that detent is. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little PVA glue on this, or my glossy accents. And it will dry crystal clear. Line up that tab like I was talking about. And looks good. So that should dry clear and hold it in place. I'll do the other side and I'll be right back with that. Let's complete building this side. Now we need to drop this light into the bezel, and this is marked with an L also. You can see that. And it's going to go in one way There's a alignment tab, 2 tabs. You have a tab right here and a tab on the bottom, a bigger one. So you have a small and large. So I'm going to drop that in there, and then we'll line it up. There we go. Next we bring our mount over, and on the mount itself, it's going to go down just like that. Look for the alignment hole, because there's an alignment pin right there. So we'll line that up with the pin. Okay. Now we're going to be putting in 2 AGO2 screws. Okay. And there should be a gap after we install these screws. Do not over tighten. And I'm just kind of looking at them from the side. And that's how that looks there. So that's your headlight. I'll do the other side and I'll be right back. And here you go. Here's the left side and the right side. They look fantastic. And that completes stage 71. Let's head over and start stage 72. And here's the parts pack for stage 72. And the right front fender, very nice. When you take all the parts out, we'll get a closer look. Here's a close-up of those parts. Here's the right fender, and of course it's made of metal. Very beautiful finish on that. And that's what the back side looks like. LED wire number 7. The right side light and indicator cluster. AG04, AG11, and AG19 are AM19 screws. And I brought everything over to install the right fender, and of course brought over the hood again. And I went ahead and prepped all the holes, the metal holes, for screws. And like always, I use my Vaseline for that. And this is all the parts for the right side, of course, right headlight, and our wiring. Make sure you have a nice cover down so you don't scratch up the paint when you go to turn it upside down to put your screws in. Now, first thing we do is we install our marker light, and that simply goes in one way. Press firmly down on it, and there's going to be an LED in that. Two AGO4 screws go into this. And that looks good there. Something I noticed, I didn't never notice this before, but there's edging on the hood and on the front. It's chrome edging. Can you see that? That's very cool. Next we're going to do our headlight. So we need to bring our hood over. I'm going to turn it over. And we're going to mount our headlight assembly bezel into this. Now when you mount it, see we had that crack there, that gap. We want to make sure that that gap headlight feeds between the body supports and that gap. Kind of see that there. Next we're going to mount our fender, and same thing, we want to make sure that our headlight goes between the gap here. And that looks good there. And that looks good right there. Now we're going to put in 3 AM19 screws. These are flange screws. AM screws. M meaning metal. Like I said, I already lubricated the holes. And the last one. Perfect. Turn this over and look at it briefly. Very cool. Very nice. Now you can really see that chrome strip. And once again, we put 2 AM19 to hold the headlight bezel in. Don't over tighten this because you're going into plastic. You're sandwiching plastic between metal. When I tighten up this last one with my thumb, I'm holding the front in. Looks great. And once again, there's our headlight. Now let's put our LEDs in. Wire number 6 goes first, and that's going to go into the headlight itself. We simply just squeeze that in, just like that. Wire number 7 goes in next, and that's going to go into our side marker. And that's in there. And that's all we do for stage 72. So let's do the other side, which is stage 73, and that will be the final stage for Pack 9. And here's the parts pack for stage 73, the final stage for Pack 9. And this is the left front fender. So let me take out all these parts and I'll be right back. Here's a close-up of those parts, and here's the left front fender, which I think looks fabulous. Beautiful finish on it. And 07 wire. The front left turn signal parking light. AG04, AG11, and AM19. And here's all the parts that we're going to be using for this stage, stage 73. This is the left side, so we're going to be installing the left fender onto the hood, or the front bonnet here. We also have the left headlight, the left indicator lights, and our 2 LED wires, 05 and 07. And we're going to install the left front fender, and I did put a soft cloth down to protect our paint finish, and I did pre-lubricate the holes with my Vaseline. We're going to put the turn signal on first, and it only goes on one way. Just like that. AG04 screws go into this, 2 of them. And that's good there. Bring over our hood area, and we're going to insert our headlight first. Left side. Remember, it's going to go in between the metal channel here in the headlight bezel itself. You kind of see that. And that's just going to sit in there while we put our fender on. Same thing when we go to put our fender on. It's going to go in between. And that's how that looks there. AM 19 screws go into this. That's nice and tight. Next we're going to put 2 more 19 screws in on the headlight bezel. And that's nice and tight there. And that looks great. Beautiful. And number 5 wire goes into the headlight. Number 5 into the headlight. Number 7 wire goes into the parking light, marker light, that's all we do for stage 73. I think it's really looking beautiful. All these parts fit together like a glove. I had no issues at all fitting these panels together, so great engineering there and great job, Agora. With that, I'll be back. And that completes pack 9, so stay tuned for pack 10. It is on its way. So we did complete the front end here, installed our fenders and headlights, and I think they look fantastic, beautiful. This is super exciting to be able to build this. We did assemble our fuel tanks and the interior. We did put on the back part of the interior, and we also worked on the dash a little bit too. We put the top of the dash cover on. So with that, I'm very pleased with this car so far, and I highly recommend it. Head over to agoramodels.com and subscribe to this car today. I put a link in the description below. Let them know that SMKR sent you. With that, happy modeling everybody, and I'll be back with pack 10. Take care.